What's going on, beautiful people? Welcome back to Craniac Gaming. We are back with the Buccaneers franchise on Madden 20, and I'm finally giving you guys the off-season recap, and I'm actually mixing it up with the preseason recap. So basically, the video file that I downloaded ended up being really blurry for the year 2 off-season, so I just decided to make a few images on Photoshop to recap what we did. And since I had to do that, and since I can't go into too much detail on certain things that aren't going to be on the screen, I decided to add the preseason recap to this video as well. I hope you guys enjoy it, but let's get into the video. Last season, the Buccaneers had a Cinderella season that they capped off by winning the Super Bowl, which was an impressive feat considering they had started the season 2-4 and had an undrafted rookie quarterback at the helm for much of that turnaround. They head into the offseason confident that they can repeat. First off, here are the signings. The Buccaneers were able to bring back outside linebacker Kamale Correa on a 3-year deal. Correa will be making $19.5 million in salary over those 3 years and $9.75 in bonuses. He was on a 1-year deal last year after spending some time with the Ravens and Titans and really played well last year, getting 12.5 sacks in 16 games. He had 24 tackles for a loss altogether, and he was a huge part in the Buccaneers' turnaround and eventually winning the Super Bowl. Next up, wide receiver Jadarius Duncan also resigned. He'll be getting a 2-year deal worth $4 million in salary and $2 million in bonuses in those 2 years. Now, Duncan wasn't utilized a ton in the regular season. He only had 12 catches for 149 yards and 2 touchdowns, but he could look to have more of a role in the offense this upcoming season. The Buccaneers also re-signed linebacker Dakota Allen, halfback Bo Scarborough, and defensive end Tremaine Baxter to 1-year deals, all worth $950K each. And with Jordan Leggett declining their contract offer, the Buccaneers ended up re-signing Anthony Firkser to a 1-year deal. Firkser had 17 catches for 221 yards and a touchdown, all while being the 3rd tight end behind O.J. Howard and Leggett. And last but certainly not least, the biggest re-signing the Buccaneers had was, of course, the re-signing of quarterback Nico Riles. Riles, of course, went undrafted in last year's draft, but ended up coming in and being the first ever rookie quarterback to lead his team to a Super Bowl victory. Riles signs a 5-year deal worth $85 million in salary and $35 million in bonuses, this coming after the amazing season that he had, taking over for the injured Lewis Gibson and leading the Buccaneers to a Super Bowl. Riles would become the starter in Week 9 after taking over late in the Week 7 victory over the Bears, and he helped lead the Buccaneers to a 10-game win streak to end the season and a division title en route to their first Super Bowl in almost 2 decades. He won Super Bowl MVP, and one thing that people don't think about a whole lot is Riles is now 12-0 as a starter, including playoffs. We'll have to see if he can continue the magic that he produced throughout the past season, but he's definitely earned this contract. So where does that leave Lewis Gibson in all this, you may ask? Well, the Buccaneers realize that they can't keep both of them around, so they've decided to trade Gibson to the New England Patriots. Of course, Tom Brady actually just retired this past offseason, so they needed a new quarterback and they decided to trade for Gibson. They traded the 7th overall pick for him, and they also acquired the 96th overall pick in this draft and a 7th round pick in 2022's draft. Y'all want to hear something crazy? The weird thing about this? The Buccaneers would end up signing Jared Goff to a huge deal in free agency, so it seems like the Patriots pretty much traded their 7th overall pick away for nothing. That's their business though. Anyways, the Buccaneers definitely had their fair share of losses in the offseason, including the likes of Eric Berry, Jordan Leggett, and Ndamukong Suh, and Jason Pierre-Paul. The Buccaneers did try to negotiate with Berry, Leggett, and Suh, but they decided free agency would be the better option. They also ended up cutting Donovan Smith and Ryan Jensen in order to compensate for the big deal that Riles ended up receiving. Cutting both of them ended up saving the Bucs about $24 million in cap room. Other losses included Benny Logan, Stacey McGee, Sharif Finch, Wyatt Teller, and Hudson Stevens. The Buccaneers would have a pretty quiet free agency period, with their only real major signings being those of quarterback Ryan Tannehill and defensive end Robert Nkemdiche. Tannehill spent last year with the Cardinals as a backup to Kyler Murray and signed a one-year deal worth $2.45 million in salary and $750K in bonuses to join the Bucs. Nkemdiche spent last year with the Panthers and has been pretty much a big disappointment so far in his career, only picking up 8.5 sacks in 5 seasons. He looks to revive his struggling career in Tampa as he signed a 2-year deal worth $7.9 million in salary and $3.4 million in bonuses. The only other 2 signings the Buccaneers had were defensive tackles Angelo Blackson and Ryan Glasgow. So now a quick review of the draft. The Buccaneers would use the 7th overall pick that they acquired from the Patriots to draft defensive end Jeremiah Royster from Ole Miss. Royster was widely considered the best defensive end available in the draft, and though some saw the pick as a reach, it definitely helped fill a need after the departures of Sue and JPP. Royster easily could have gone first overall, but with teams having other more dire needs in front of the Buccaneers, he fell right into their lap. He's a great run stopper and a perfect fit for the Buccaneers 3-4 scheme. He's great at creating penetration in the run game and is a surefire day 1 starter for the Buccaneers. With the Buccaneers' actual first round pick at number 32, they draft a very familiar face to the channel, tight end Shelton Bentley out of Baltimore State. Bentley was projected as an early 2nd round pick and is easily the best receiving tight end in the draft. That being said, he could stand to be a bit better of a run blocker, but overall this is a solid pick for the Buccaneers. This gives them a strong 1-2 punch at the tight end position for now, but what does this mean for the future of O.J. Howard? We'll have to see. The Buccaneers wouldn't pick again until the 4th round, and then they would select another Baltimore State alum in the form of middle linebacker Isaiah Kegler. Kegler is well known for being an absolute force in the middle. He's very well known for causing all types of ruckus all over the field, especially against screen passes. He unfortunately fell to the 4th round due to what many believe to be character issues. He did get into a few different altercations during his time at Baltimore State, including a DUI a few weeks after their Orange Bowl victory, but the Buccaneers got an absolute stud in Kegler, and they may have found their successor to middle linebacker Levante David once he retires. At pick 20 in the 4th round, the Buccaneers picked up outside linebacker Walter Ulrich out of Arizona State. Ulrich is a solid enough player at linebacker, though I'd say he's more of a 4-3 outside linebacker than he is a 3-4 outside linebacker. He's not particularly great in coverage or in rushing the passer. His strength really comes from stopping the run. That said, I would expect him to find a niche in special teams at first at least, with him maybe getting some opportunities in running situations. He could develop into something, but overall, I'm not too keen on the potential of Ulrich with the Buccaneers. With the 32nd pick in the 4th round, the Buccaneers would select wide receiver Brian Drake out of Duke. Drake was initially projected as a 1st round pick, but after posting some lackluster numbers in the 40-yard dash, the 3-cone, and the 20-yard shuttle drills, he started falling down many people's draft boards, with some even repositioning him as a tight end, which is what he'll be playing in Tampa. He has a lot of great traits as a receiver, but obviously will have to work on his run blocking, with his move to tight end being an adjustment. I'm not sure how much playing time he'll really get with 3 other tight ends ahead of him on the Buccaneers roster, but this experiment could be pretty interesting. Now, with the last pick of the 5th round, the Buccaneers would then double dip at the defensive end position, picking up Kadarrell Lewis out of Washington. He's another end who fits well in the 3-4 scheme, though he's much more raw than Royster is. He's more of a power rusher, so he should struggle against tackles who are quicker than him, but he can be disruptive at times. He's just another player who will probably need a few years to develop before getting real playing time, and he'll compete with Tremaine Baxter for some reserve end snaps. With the final pick in the 6th round, the Buccaneers pick up fullback Jakari Compton out of Washington State. Now, the Buccaneers did mention that they wanted to run a little bit more I formation and strong I and whatnot. With that being said, they decided to draft a fullback. Compton is seen by most as the best fullback in the draft class. However, I'm not sure how I feel about drafting a fullback. I guess at this point in the draft it really doesn't matter. It was a need for the Buccaneers and they did fill it. Compton did play some running back for Washington State as they don't really utilize fullbacks in the air raid offense. He's a solid enough blocker, and he can make some plays out of the backfield, so we'll have to see how much he really will help this Buccaneers offense. And with the 31st pick in the 7th round, the Buccaneers drafted quarterback Daniel Gordon out of Washington State, who was a teammate of Compton's, and of course is an air raid quarterback, so maybe he'll be something, but he was mainly drafted to be a camp arm. So now we get into the preseason. I mainly did play the moments for a lot of these games because playing 4 preseason games is kind of tedious. But here we go. In the first game, we're going to be taking on the Detroit Lions. Real quick, I got to shout out the homie Octagonal Gaming. He's currently doing a Lions franchise on his channel. Make sure you go check him out. So, second play from scrimmage, Matthew Stafford is brought down for the sack by the 7th overall pick, Jeremiah Royster. Royster already looking like he's going to be an absolute monster on this defensive line. Now we go to the Buccaneers offense. So we welcome back Derrick Henry, who missed the playoff run last season due to an injury. He's back, and he's looking angrier than ever. He's going to put together back-to-back hard-nosed runs to get the Buccaneers into the red zone. That'd lead to a Matt Gay field goal. It's 3-0 Buccaneers. Now it's Lions ball. Stafford drops back, looking for the invisible woman Sue Storm, and he's intercepted. PJ Williams must be a doctor because he's making a house call. Understandably so, because Lions fans got to be sick after watching that. Touchdown Buccaneers, they take a 10-0 lead. We're into the second quarter now. The Lions have a touchdown on the board. Kenya Carey at quarterback now, looking to the end zone, and it's intercepted by Williams again. This time a hell of a play to stay 10 toes down while diving for the football for his second interception of the day. Access denied for the Lions. So now we get to see Ryan Tannegoat taking his first snap as a Buccaneer. He drops back, throws into double coverage, and he's picked off by Quandre Diggs. That's probably not the best first impression Tannehill could have made, but regardless, the Lions get the ball back. Now we go to late in the second quarter. Lions up 17-10. Buccaneers with the ball, and Ryan Tannehill has to be following Blackjack on Twitch because he bought into the mentality that when you yeet, you win. The yeet to Justin Watson goes for 55 yards and a Buccaneers touchdown, and we are deadlocked at 17 at the half. Third quarter now, Lions at the Buccaneers 27. Clifford Hillman taking the pitch, and Walter Ulrich gets in there and puts him down like old Yeller. You love to see the rookies showing out like that. It's a 4-yard loss. Now the very next play, however, Carey gonna yeet to win, and he finds Malik Turner. He hit Dawson with the burners. Mossinelli safety covering for another Lions touchdown. Lions take a 24-17 lead now off the huge Moss by Malik Turner. So now Buccaneers ball. It's Nicky Fitz at quarterback trying to lead this motley crew down the field. And he must watch Blackjack as well because he realizes when you yeet, you win. Jadarius Duncan is dunking all over the Lions defense. A 62-yard catch and run ties the game at 24. Fourth quarter now, Lions with a 3-point lead. Now it's Daniel Gordon in at quarterback, and he finds a wide open Scotty Tuhati Miller for a first down up to the 5-yard line. Now it's 4th down and goal, and damn, Daniel Gordon finds a wide open Justin Watson for his second touchdown of the game. And it might just be elementary from here, my dear Watson. 31-27 Buccaneers. Now a minute left. 4th and 3 from the Buccaneers 31. Last chance for the Lions. Hellman trying to push forward, but it's just like Kevin Hart trying to get onto a height-restricted roller coaster. He's coming up short. He actually lost a yard there, and the Buccaneers would hold on to win 31-27. Next up, the Buccaneers take on them boys. They got Dak. They got Feek. And they also got an interception early on. Michael Jackson Sr. with the interception. No relation to the legend, RIP Michael Jackson. Gets a huge pick six to start the game. 7-0 America's team. Riles trying to get it together now. And out in Tampa, they don't like Krispy Kreme. They like Duncan as Jadarius Duncan gets the first down. Now it's 3rd and 8. Riles looking right side for Jacob Spain, but pardon my French, what the kind of throw was that? Incomplete, the Bucs would punt it. Them boys would score again, making it 14-0. Riles going to roll to his right, and he's going to find a wide open Chris Godwin for the first down up to the 48-yard line. Unfortunately, that drive would stall out, and now it's 17-0 Cowboys. And now Riles going to check down to Jakari Compton, but Byron Jones says, nah, East Coast, Beast Coast, gets the interception, and Riles is completely struggling. His second interception in as many quarters. Dallas would get a field goal. It's 20-0. Later on, Riles trying to get something going, and he's going to find Mike Evans for a big first down into Dallas territory. But now we got a 2nd and 24. We got Riles in the shotgun. He's going to try to yeet to win, but overthrows his intended target, and that's just kind of how the game went for him. The Buccaneers wouldn't score until the first play of the fourth quarter. Ryan Tannehill in the game, and he said, why spread the wealth when you can do it yourself? He'd run in for the touchdown. That would get the Buccaneers on the board, but Dallas would still win 35-14. Next up, we got the New Orleans Saints. It's kind of strange playing a divisional rival in the preseason, but that's Madden logic for you, I guess. Riles starts this game off much better than the last, finding Mike Evans in the end zone for the touchdown. It's 7-0 Bucs. The Saints would drive down themselves, and Jacoby Brissett in the shotgun, gonna find Traquan Smith for a Saints touchdown, and we are tied at 7. Next Buccaneers possession, Riles in the shotgun. He's gonna drop back and check it down to an open OJ the Juice Man Howard. He makes the offense say, "Aye!" Booming and bunking his way all the way to the 25-yard line. Late in the first quarter, Riles gonna drop back. He's gonna go right side and he finds Von Bell. But wait, the Buccaneers don't have anybody on their team named Von Bell. That's an interception. Riles continues to struggle in the preseason. The Saints wouldn't score, however. Now second quarter action, the Bucs at the 6-yard line, and they call on the services of El Tractorcito himself. Derrick Henry up the middle, untouched like tofu at a barbecue. Touchdown Buccaneers, they regain the lead. The Saints in Buccaneers territory with a minute left in the half. Brissett under pressure, and the Shaq attack gets to him. Shaquille Barrett looking to pick up right where he left off last season. That forces a 3rd and 9. Brissett looking for somebody to throw to, anybody to throw to, when he's finally brought down by the flying Hawaiian himself, Kamale Correa, getting there for the sack. The Saints would kick a field goal to make it 14-10. So now third quarter action, Ryan Tannehill in the game, and y'all want to see why I call him Tannegoat. He's going to escape a sack here, runs into the end zone for the touchdown. A hell of a play by Tannehill, and it's 21-10 Bucs. Bucs will add a field goal to make it 24-10. We're in the fourth quarter now, and Nick Fitzgerald in the game, and he wants to test drive the Bentley truck, finding Shelton Bentley in the end zone for another Buccaneers touchdown. It's 31-10. The Saints would score one more time, but it would be the Buccaneers winning 31-17. So now we move on to the final game of the preseason, Buccaneers versus Steelers. The Steelers have a new starter at quarterback, and his name is Mason, but it's not Mason Rudolph, it's Mason Blaylock out of the University of Pittsburgh, getting the start. He finds Vance McDonald for the touchdown. Steelers are up 7-0. So we're tied at 7 midway through the second quarter. Big Ben Roethlisberger, now the backup, throws over the middle, and he's picked off by Levante David. He's looking for a big return, and he might as well be at Snoop Dogg's crib with all the green in front of him. It's going to be a huge pick six for the touchdown. The Buccaneers going to take a 14-7 lead over the Steelers. Third quarter action now, and Dwight Patrick is like that toxic ex that you have that keeps sending you mean messages because the Steelers completely forgot to block him. Roethlisberger fumbles, but it's recovered by the Steelers, but it's a huge loss on the play. Late in the fourth, the Steelers down by 7, trying to make a comeback, but Roethlisberger going to throw left side. He's going to be intercepted by INT Melly. Jamel Dean with the interception that seals the deal for the Bucs. They finished the preseason 3-1. During final cuts, the Buccaneers ended up trading receiver Brashad Perriman to the Buffalo Bills in exchange for a 4th and a 7th round pick in this upcoming draft. With the emergence of guys like Jacob Spain, Jadarius Duncan, and Scotty Miller, Perriman's services were just no longer needed. In 2 seasons with the Bucs, Perriman had 78 catches for 1,116 yards and 2 touchdowns in 26 games. Speaking of Jadarius Duncan, he's going to miss the first 6 weeks of the season due to a broken collarbone. That's a tough break, no pun intended. He was expected to have an increased role in the offense, but unfortunately that's going to have to wait. We'll see a lot more of Scotty Miller and Justin Watson, at least for the first 6 weeks of the season. So now we take a look at our opening day depth chart. Nico Riles, of course, is our QB1. Tannegoat will be backing him up. At running back, Derrick Henry reclaims his starting job with Ronald Jones and Leonard Dixon backing him up. Jakari Compton will be the starting fullback, although we could see Shelton Bentley getting some burn there, and Derrick Henry in short yardage packages will play some fullback as well. At receiver, Mike Evans and Chris Godwin remain 1 and 2. Jacob Spain will now be the full-time slot receiver with Perriman gone, and Watson, Miller, and Harvey will be 4 through 6 while Duncan recovers from his injury. At tight end, O.J. Howard remains the starter, for now, with Bentley and Drake backing him up and Ferkser at number 4. On the offensive line, all 5 starters return. Ali Marpet at left tackle, Tim Mentor at left guard, Dylan Boyd at center, Jack Conklin at right guard, and Carl Lavos at right tackle. Now we flip to the defensive side of the ball. Robert Kimdichie will be the starting left end, with Kadera Lewis backing him up. Jeremiah Royster will start at right end, with Angelo Blackson backing him up. Vita Vea is the only returning starter on the defensive line. He's heading into a contract season. Ryan Glasgow will back him up. At linebacker, we have all 4 starters returning as Shaquille Barrett, Levante David, Devin White, and Kamale Correa all remain the starters for this linebacking core. At cornerback, Sean Murphy-Bunting and Eli Apple will be the starters, Kayvon Miller will be the nickel corner, and PJ Williams will play in dime packages. Miles Jack remains the starting free safety, and with Eric Berry gone, Dalton Mays now becomes the starting strong safety. He showed a lot of promise last season when given an opportunity. Let's see what he does now as the full-time starter. Matt Gay and Bradley Pinion remain the kicker and punter respectively. Jacob Spain will still be returning kickoffs and punts. Pinion will be the kickoff man, and Jack Conklin will be the long snapper. As far as offensive and defensive specialists go, Ronald Jones will be the third down back. Derrick Henry will remain in the game as the power back. Jacob Spain will be playing in the slot, as I previously mentioned. Barrett and Correa will bump down to end in passing situations. Vale will remain in nose in those situations. Miles Jack will bump down to linebacker and sub-linebacker packages. And Sean Murphy-Bunting will play in the slot in nickel diamond quarter packages. Lastly, let's take a look at the schedule. The Buccaneers have a pretty interesting start to the season. They take on the Cowboys in the kickoff game, and then they play 3 more home games to begin the season, including 2 primetime games. They then play the first road game in Week 5 against the Panthers before defending their home on a short week against Sam Darnold and the Jets. Then they battle the Dolphins, Redskins, and Giants all on the road before their Week 10 bye. Then they play 2 more road games against the Bills and Falcons, making it 5 straight road games overall for the Bucs. Then they host the Saints on Sunday night before they head to LA to take on the Rams. Then they host the Panthers in Week 15 before going on the road against the Saints. And then they end their season with a home matchup against the Philadelphia Eagles. It should be a very interesting season for the Buccaneers as they look to defend their title. The road to a repeat begins later on this week. Now, to conclude this video, I want to give you all an opportunity to create a player for this draft class. I will be posting a template that will be tabbed in the comments section. I've already begun recording this season, and I'm now at the bye week, which is when I plan on releasing a draft prospect special. So if you guys want to be a part of this draft class, create your prospect in the comments section below. I'm probably going to get started with recording the second half of the season on Wednesday or Thursday of this week. So get your players in by Wednesday, June 18th at around 12 p.m. Eastern if you want to have your player in this draft class. Remember, your player does have to be realistic in name, height, and weight, so no 5'11", 280 quarterbacks, please. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I know it was a bit of a long one with the offseason recap and the preseason recap being in this video, but if you made it this far, you're an absolute soldier, and I can't put my appreciation for you into words. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys hit that like button, and for more franchise and dynasty content, hit that subscribe button and turn your notifications on to join the notification gang. That way you'll be notified every time I drop a video. Also, be sure to go follow me on Twitch as well, as I stream there Mondays to Fridays. I have plenty of great things going on with Twitch, including a WWE 2K9 Call Universe, an NCAA Football 14 Dynasty, and a Super Mega Baseball 3 franchise. But that's all from me today, guys. Thank you so much for watching this video. You guys have yourselves a wonderful rest of your day, night, or whenever you're watching this. Like I always say, no matter what happens, make sure you keep that mofo rolling. I love y'all 3000. I'm Audi 5000. Deuces.